We have some similarities like the omnidirectional wheel placement, our charging contacts, same with our cliff sensors right here and our side brush placement. Other than that though, they're pretty different from here on out. Hey everyone, Digital David here. Today in this video, I'm going to be comparing the iRobot Roomba 692 Wi-Fi RoboVac with the iRobot Roomba i6 Plus RoboVac with self-emptying base. I did purchase both of these products myself, and any opinion expressed in this video is strictly my own. That being said, if you're interested in either one of these products, the links to them will be in my video description below. Be sure to go ahead and check out some of the other video reviews I have on other iRobot Roomba vacuums on my channel. Now let's go ahead, let's open them up and look at the contents. So here are all the package contents. First up to my left, you can see everything for the 692. We have our warranty card, we have a quick start guide, and we have our owner's guide for the RoboVac. We have an included power cord for our charging base, and you can see the charging base right here from all different sides and angles. Very small and compact. Then on my right, you can see all of the i6 Plus accessories, same warranty card. We have an owner's guide for our self-emptying base, and we have an owner's guide for the i6 RoboVac. Here's our included power cord for the charging and self-emptying base. You can see the base right here with their logo and branding, charging contacts, and the area where it's going to suck out all the contents of our i6 from the dustbin. Then we have a nice lid at the top that we can open up to change out the dust bag as needed. Then you can see we have the i6 itself right here next to the 692. Let's go ahead, let's look at these in more detail. So you can see both Robo vacuum cleaners up close now. We have the 692 to my left and the i6 to my right. They follow the same general design principles in regards to like front bumper, sensor placement, that sort of thing, but clearly they're different from each other in regards to the controls and the locations on the top of the vacuum. So to my left, you may notice we have the 692 with our iRobot logo and branding right here, where on the i6 you can see it's further up towards the top, and it even picks up the actual text iRobot and it says Roomba. Both feature the same 3-button control options, a spot mode, a power on, off, and clean option, and our return to home to charge. But you may notice they're all integrated on the 692, where they're basically dedicated individual buttons on the i6. And you may notice on the i6, we pick up an extra sensor. We have a camera module up top. We do not have that with the 692. Also, another big difference is the dustbins. So you can see for the 692, we can press this button to pull out the dustbin right here. For the i6, we have a button on the side we can press and it pops out, and then you can see the dustbin for our i6. This features the automatic dirt disposal. So this is going to work with the self-emptying base. But we can press this to get inside, and you can see the contents of the dustbin right there. And let's leave it out for a second so you guys can see what it looks like for the 692. Very similar yet completely different, right? Larger capacity going to be for the 692, but this doesn't self-empty, and a completely different design and form factor there with our air filtration and everything else. Also, they go back on differently too, right? This one just lines up and you press it in place. This one you kind of gotta slot it in first, pivot it around, and then press it in place. Now let's go ahead, let's flip them over. So looking at them from the bottom, we have some similarities like the omnidirectional wheel placement, our charging contacts, same with our cliff sensors right here and our side brush placement. Other than that though, they're pretty different from here on out. So you can see on the 692, our brush assembly right here. We have 2 tabs we can release to get access to everything, and the brushes are completely different from what we have on the i6, which has the Aero Force cleaning system, so you can see that. But we still have a tab that we can press to release as needed to clean and get access to the brushes. Clearly the dustbins are different, as you can see from the bottom too. We have additional sensors on the i6 that we do not have on the 692. Same drive wheels though, you can see that right there. So same mechanisms, suspension spring loaded for both of them. And they both actually have basically some sticker placement right here, letting us know more about each individual model. If it wasn't already obvious for you before, now you can see some of the differences too. If we look at the sides of the RoboVacs, again, they follow the same general concept, but clearly you can see they are different in body type. So you can see the different design options that we have going along the sides. and obviously the back too, especially with our different dustbins. We'll go ahead, we'll rotate them all the way around right here. So again, basically for the 692, the body's going to be a lot more bloated and rounded, where I'd say for the i6, we have polished edges and everything's a little bit more shrunken in and sharper than this rounded bulge that we get for the 692. Like I said, it's just a little bit more refined with the i6. So both vacuum cleaners, the 692 and the i6, use the iRobot app to manage and control them, but I want to show you guys some of the similarities and differences. Obviously, they're going to follow the same design pattern and UI because they're within the same app, but you can see we have the 692 selected right here. And you can see it's ready to vacuum. It's currently charging. We have our favorite section, our scheduling option, our history, our messages, and then we can go into our robot settings, where basically you can see we just have our device settings and we can locate it. But now let's go to the i6 and you can see same thing. We have a nice image of it. It's charging and ready to vacuum. We have our favorites, our schedule, our history, our messages. But now we'll go into the robot settings and you can see we have more options. So first we have about the clean base, so we can learn about our self-emptying base. But then you can see we have cleaning preferences. So we can adjust the past settings. Room size, daily, or extra, depending on what we desire for the type of clean that we're after. And then you can see bin full behavior. Do not clean when full or keep cleaning when full. And you can see those options right there. And then we have the same device settings. So they're similar yet different because we have different features between both vacuums. So far we've taken a look at the similarities and differences between the 692 and the i6 physically and how they're built, as well as digitally within the iRobot app. Now let's talk about their internal similarities and differences. So first up, the 692 and the i6 both feature a 3-stage cleaning system, but the i6 has a premium 3-stage cleaning system. We'll get to that in a minute. Next up, in regards to suction power, the 692 has standard suction power, where the i6 has 10 times the suction power. So we're going to get a boost in suction literally with the i6 over the 692. Next, in regards to cleaning pattern, there's a pretty big difference here too. The 692 has an adaptive cleaning pattern. It's random, sporadic, goes wherever it wants. It has a mind of its own, where the i6 is going to give you a nice, neat row navigation. It's going to be logical, consistent, constant, and it's going to make sense. Next up, we have runtime differences. We have a 90-minute battery with the 692, where we basically have what I call an unlimited battery with the i6. It's still going to have, 90 minutes or so, give or take, of battery life, but it has the ability to go back home, recharge, and resume. So that's why I say unlimited. That's what we get with the i6. You no longer have to worry about battery life as long as you're not under the gun and have to have everything clean in one pass. If you have a massive house or just a huge territory for your Roomba to run in, then obviously, the longer the battery life, the better. But having it be able to go home, recharge, and then resume is a great feature to have. So it's going to pick right back up from where it left off. Both have navigation sensors for obstacles and stairs, but with the i6, you may have noticed that camera on the top we talked about earlier. That's going to give us some visual navigation, which will give us some better mapping settings as well, which is really nice that we don't get with the 692. Both offer personalized cleaning options, but we get custom cleaning options with the i6. Both connect via Wi-Fi, so we have the same smart home capabilities. But that's it. The 692 drops off, and everything else we're going to talk about is just the i6. So we have tangle-resistant brushes, a high-efficiency filter, and that's going to tie back in to that 3-stage cleaning system we mentioned earlier that's premium. This can also team up with the BravaJet M6 robot mop. If you want to add that to your arsenal, you can do that. This features a self-emptying base if you get the Plus version. You can also clean by specific rooms and objects with the i6 and i6 Plus. And it also has, separate cleaning zones and keep out zones thanks to the actual visual navigation that we get. So it's going to give us the ability to just choose a specific area to have it clean or an area for it not to clean. So that overall is going to be the complete comparison between the two RoboVacs.